As I stepped off the small propeller plane that brought me to the frozen tundra, a sense of unease settled over me. The air was crisp and cold, with an eerie silence that seemed to cling to every surface like frost on a windowpane. Before us lay the vast expanse of the Arctic landscape, untouched by civilization for as far as the eye could see. This was to be the final leg of our journey, one that would bring us face to face with one of nature's most elusive and mysterious wonders, the Echo 12 expedition, a research team that vanished without a trace into the very heart of this unforgiving environment. We trudged through knee-deep snow towards an abandoned airfield in the distance. The terrain was merciless, every step testing our resolve as much as it did our strength. Each stride felt like traversing an obstacle course, designed by some madcap deity to keep intruders at bay. My trek companion, Dr. Jenkins, a renowned expert on ancient polar explorations, navigated us through the labyrinth of ice and snow, pausing every so often to examine markings that only he could decipher. "Look here," he'd say, his voice barely above a whisper as he pointed at an etched rune that might have been there for centuries, or just created in the last storm. The team's equipment was scattered about us, remnants of their journey frozen forever into the terrain like shards of shattered glass. As the days passed, our party grew restless, and the cold began to take its toll on our morale. We huddled together at night, sharing stories of the lost expedition, each trying to top the others with tales of adventure, or near misses with certain doom. But it was not just talk, there was a genuine air of unease in the team. Then, one morning, Dr. Jenkins approached me with an odd look on his face. "I found something," he said, leading me to a spot several feet from where we had been resting. The snow seemed to be shifted. A pattern began to form as I followed the etchings, my heart racing in anticipation of what this might signify. The more I looked, the more it started to resemble some sort of cryptic message or a pathway that only the most skilled and patient of explorers could decipher. This was no natural occurrence, there was method behind this pattern. The hours passed quickly as we worked together, tracing every line, every curve, with an intensity that rivaled our first steps onto the icy terrain. It wasn't until nightfall that the revelation came, a realization that shook us to the core and cast everything into a different light.